Hello friends, welcome back to our channel. In this video I'm going to discuss about the convenience foods. So what are these convenience foods are? So the name itself showing us these are the foods that which are convenient for us to use, right? So the convenience foods are also called as the ready to eat foods, and these are the products which are fully or partially prepared for consumption. So in other words, we can also say that the process has been already taken by the manufacturer, so that we just like quick to prepare and to serve. Okay, example for these convenience foods are canned peas and a can of tomato soup. So for example, consider for preparing a convenient food, that is a can of tomato soup. The manufacturer should collect the tomatoes and should remove all the spoiled, bacterial and other contaminated tomato. Next, follow with the cleaning, washing, and cutting, and also boiling. All these various steps, various process or carried out by as taken care by the manufacturer. And finally, the convenience food is prepared, right, or taken care by the manufacturer. Whenever we have to prepare these convenience foods, for example a tomato soup, we just have to open it and then heat it and serve it. So these are very time saving process, time saving foods that which are prepared in a less time, right? Let's see what are the advantages of these convenience foods. So a large variety of the convenience foods can be prepared in a short period of time. We can enjoy the availability of the fruits and vegetables throughout the year. For example, there are seasonal fruits and vegetables, right? So the availability by these by these process, by these convenience foods, so the availability of such seasonal foods like fruits and vegetables will be increased. So this is one of the most important advantage of these convenience foods. And these are easy to store. So whenever we are preparing these foods, the quantity wise or the volume of this food will be decreased, so that it is easy to store and where it requires the less space, and also they do not spoil easily, and also they maintain with the quality. So they're also having the high quality manufacturers are preparing these foods. So the final product should be follow the guidelines that which are provided by the various institutions like this Bureau of Indian Standards. So these will provide the guidelines. Whenever these final product met these all the guidelines that which like standards that which are provided by these institutions, so then only this will provide the quality mark like FSSI, FPO, egg mark, ISI. So quality is highly maintained in these foods. Okay, and next, coming to the disadvantages, you can say that these foods are high in cost. So where these are expensive because the cost of the production which was done by the manufacturer, so it is also added to the actual cost of the food. So indirectly the cost of the product is also increasing. So it is, so these foods are highly expensive, and during the process various nutrients will be lost. Okay, so loss of nutrients will also be seen. And so whenever we are using these convenience foods, we should be careful. Why? Because we should follow with the direction of the use which is available on the packaging material. So whenever if we add if we require to add only 1 glass of water, if we do not follow, and if we use 2 glasses of water in the place of 1 glass, then the soup will not be prepared, right? So the direction of the preparation which is labeled on the packaging material should be followed carefully for getting the food what we want, right? So you should be careful while preparing the convenience foods. And these foods contain some additive, and like excessive intaking of the uh, flavoring agents like MSG, monosodium glutamate, which is we can find it in the Maggi powder, Maggi masala, right? So margarine, artificial sweetener, and etc. are harmful to the body. So these all these are the carcinogenic food. So whenever with the prolonged intake of these foods, this leads to the cancer. So these all should be banned. But in the normal level it is not that much effective, but whenever you are consuming it for a prolonged period, it will be effective. Means it does not shows you a acute effect, it will show you a chronic effect, which is a prolonged effect. Finally it leads to a cancer, right? So this is also one of the disadvantages. And next, coming to the types of these convenience foods, there are 3 types of the convenience foods. They are canned foods, packed foods, and freeze foods. So these canned foods, or the process that which is involved in the canned foods is canning. So canning is the process where the food is completely packed in the airtight container and coated with the tin or in a glass bottle or in a jar. So sometimes plastic is also used. So mostly glass is preferable, where the plastic will lead to many carcinogenic effects, right? The food is packed followed with the heat the contains to a particular temperature to destroy any organism present in the container, and then container is to be sealed, then it should be sealed. And then coming to the packed foods, process that which is involved in the packing packed foods is the dehydration or drying. Dehydration is the process of removing the water from the food material, so that the main reason for this dehydration is to get rid of the microorganisms. So if it is perishable, it is highly attractive to the microorganisms. If it is unperishable, the growth of the microorganisms will be less. The conditions, the environment is unfavorable for the microorganisms growth. So to get rid of the microorganisms, the food should be dehydrated. So and when you want to prepare these foods, just we have to add the water, so it is a rehydration process. So if we want to prepare, just we have to add the water to it and serving, just to serve it, right? So the taste of these foods, packed foods, resemble same as the fresh foods from which it is derived, right? And the quantity of the dehydrated foods is small. So whenever, for example, let us consider the milk. Okay, for preparing the milk powder, the water content and whey material from the milk is completely removed. Just the protein and the fat material is in that powder, right? So when it undergoes with the dehydration process, all this water and water is removed from water and whey in the milk. So all these are removed from this milk, so that we are getting the where the quantity. What we are talking about the quantity, right? So the quantity of the milk, whenever the food is converting from the milk to milk powder, so the quantity get decreased. Okay, and whenever, but after cooking the volume increases again. If you again want to prepare the milk, just you have to add the water to that powder, so volume automatically increases. It is about 4 to 8 times. For example, for this is chutney powder, custard powder, instant coffee powders, and foods, baby foods. Okay, all these were the packed foods. And next, coming to frozen foods. What are the frozen foods? These are the foods, the process that which is involved here is freezing. So the foods in the freezing process, the water is converted into the ice. So the water is completely changed into ice. So here also it is same as the dehydration, where water is in dehydration, water is completely removed from the food, right? Whereas in freezing process, the water is completely, means it is changing its form, converting from liquid form to the solid form, right? So that the availability of the water content, the form of the water content, or the water content of the food is getting unfavorable for the microorganism growth. So that it prevents the growth of the microorganisms, right? So for example, most of the foods like meat, poultry, ice creams, all these were also kept under frozen condition with the packing also. Okay, so the frozen foods are decreasing the water content. So in packed foods and the frozen foods, are the main goal of these process is same, like prevents the growth of the microorganisms, right? The process will be different in these convenient foods. So whenever we are talking about the canned foods, tins are used, right? So there whenever we are buying, the tins should be checked carefully. If you observe any bulging at either end of the can, then you should be where it can say it is said to be it is indication of the spoilage of the food. So you should be careful while buying these products, right? This is about the video.